Hey guys, free system time. Yeah, don't have a free play for you guys today. Taking a day off from free plays, guys. Last 7 days we have gone 6-1. We'll be back at it tomorrow. But today, guys, what I want to do is I want to walk you through a college football system. This is similar to a lot of the systems that I give out in Masterclass. So Masterclass, guys, we literally have hundreds of systems that I've given out to people. And I just want to walk you through kind of the breakdown and thinking behind what a typical Masterclass system looks like, okay? So we are going to be talking about college football today, guys. And before we jump into this, if you're interested in my full card, it's benderwins.com. $99 for an entire month gets you my full card every single day. Now, not only does it get you my full card every day, but it gets you access to a lot of educational material, such as our systems, our Masterclass educational videos. There's a ton of them, guys. Lots of great resources. With our website, we're going to be adding even more systems in the very near future. And it's a very, very good deal for $3 a day. And you get my picks every single day. For today's system, guys, we are talking about college football. Yes, that is a football, believe it or not. And this system is called the DAP. You can basically name your systems anything you want. It really doesn't matter. I have a lot of systems, so I like to kind of short form, and then I have like subsystems, and I'll talk about subsystems as well today. But for this specific system, guys, very simple system, okay? You don't have to really dive into money distributions and line movements and that kind of stuff, where we do have, and I use much more complex systems where there's systems based on how lines are reacting to public money based on percentages, etc., etc. They're very advanced systems. This one isn't. And a lot of the systems that I gave out in Masterclass, majority of them, are fairly simple, fairly straightforward, easy to follow systems, all right? This system happens to hit 56%, but it is a very mature system and makes a lot of money, okay? We have other systems that manage to hit over 70%. We have a system that hits over 80%. It just doesn't come up at this kind of volume. So these are your bread and butter systems. These are where you're going to make a lot of your money. Now, if you follow this system every single game, you would have 506 wins, 398 losses, winning at 56%, okay? That is a 9% ROI. In sports betting terms, guys, 5% ROI is what you're doing, top-notch professional stuff. This is almost double that. If you were to bet $100 on every single one of these games blindly, no capping at all, $100 on every single one of these, you'd be up $8,228. Not too bad, right? Let's jump into this, guys, and then I just want to elaborate a little bit more on systems and subsystems, okay? We're all going to learn something here today. Better than a free pick. All right, so again, guys, call your system whatever you want. This particular system, now the DAP, by the way, it stands for dogs after previous loss, okay? It's just a short form abbreviation. What we're going to be looking for here, guys, is we're going to be looking to bet on visiting dogs in conference games where their opponent has lost either 1 or 2 games in a row. All right, so let's go down and let's look at it. There's one more variable we want to add in to maximize our ROI, although not required, okay? And that's where we start to get a subsystems. So first off, guys, anytime we're trying to identify a system, let's get rid of the bulk of the games first, okay? We don't want to go through every single game when we're looking for this system, right? And there are softwares out there that can help you narrow these down as well. But if you're doing it the old-fashioned way, trying to save a few bucks, doing it like I did back in the day, where you can't afford to buy these systems that are $300-400 a month that'll find this stuff for you, eliminate the games, the bulk of the games first. First, guys, for this system to work, it has to be a conference game. Any non-conference games, gone. All right. Second, we want a visitor. All right. So we're looking for a visitor here, guys. I didn't put something on here. Got to add this. Very important. Dog. Yes. Yes, we are looking for a dog in this situation. So we want to find the conference games. All right. Then we want to find visiting dogs. All right, so if we have visiting dogs in conference games, this is where we're starting to look from, okay? Now what we want to do, guys, is the next thing we'd probably look at is the spread. So we might have a list of, 30 dogs in visiting dogs conference games. Now we want to find spreads where they're +1 to +14. So if they're +15, cross them out. They no longer qualify. Now, the last thing, guys, you want to look for is see how their opponent has done in their last 2 games. It can be 1 game, it can be 2 games, but not 3 or more, okay? And that is important here. If your opponent lost its last game, and just its last game, right? That's fine. That is -1. They have 1 loss in a row. If they've lost their last 2 games, it is -2, right? 2 losses in a row. But let's say they lost their last 3 or their last 4 games in a row, it no longer qualifies in this system, all right? If they won their last game, what do? Cross them off, right? So ultimately, we might now come down to a list where, we have basically 6 teams, 5 teams, right? So there's 5 teams on a weekend that fit into this category, okay? Now, I've added here, guys, and this is just to make it profitable. This right here, if you bet that on its own, is profitable, okay? I always look for this because the ROI on just this, it's a little bit lower. I'm not saying it's not worth your time because free money is free money. But by adding in games where the wind is 10 miles an hour lower, it boosts your ROI up to 9% and gives you a very, very nice long-term return. So what you're ultimately doing, guys, is looking for this break-in. We want a conference game. We're looking for visiting dogs. We want our opponent to have lost either 1 or 2 games in a row, and we need a spread where we're the dog under 14. I guess this is redundant because we know the spread is +1. Now, I'm going to put dog on here just so it helps you guys look for it. I don't need my system to say dog because I know it's a dog, because the spread is, we're getting +1 to +14, right? After you've identified this, okay, and say you find 7 of them, right? And there's quite a few. There is quite a few out there, guys. Now we look at the wind, okay? What we're looking for here is average wind. If there's question, err on the side of caution, okay? If the average wind looks like it's going to be, 9.9 to 10.2 miles an hour, just err on the side of caution, okay? Because when that wind starts to get higher, it creates more variance. Typically, those better teams fare better during, those types of games. So we want that wind lower. So look, if the average wind speed is going to be, 7.8, don't sweat it, okay? If it's 7.8 going up to 9, gusts to this, doesn't matter, okay? That qualifies. And that is how you end up there, guys. Now, this is a very profitable system. All the systems I've given in Masterclass are long-term, mature, profitable systems. They're designed to make you money. But as professionals, we always go one step further, okay? Like I said, there might be 5 or 6 games that fit this system. But as professionals, guys, what we ultimately want to try to do is we want to try to look at scenarios that might not be optimal. We might want to look at scenarios where we've capped the game so dramatically the other way that we're not going to fade a system like this. Never. But we might want to lay off that game. And that's why it comes down to, you guys, in the end, for professionals, follow a very simple process, okay, of capping your games. You're setting your own lines. You're using your power ratings. At the end of the day, that is where you want to start. You always want to start there. Now, you want to find systems that line up with what you have. So let's say, out of these 5 games that we have, right, we've capped 4 of them as having an advantage, right? We like that play. Well, now we're on to something, guys. Let's also have a look at the money distribution out there. Let's see what the other sharps are doing, okay? Only when you have GOAT complex where you think you're the greatest and no one will ever be as good as you, do you ever stop caring about what others do? I love to know what the other sharps are doing, which is why I look at steam and reverse line moves on every single game. Now, when we cap the game well, when we got a beautiful system, okay, when the money distribution lines up and the other sharps agree with you guys, how do you go wrong long term? You don't, okay? And that brings my last point up, guys. Doesn't matter if a system hits 56% or 90%. Bankroll management and approaching sports betting from a long-term perspective is the only way to win. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're still watching, kudos to you because you're here to learn. BenderWins.com, guys. Not only do you get the full card every single day, plus my masterclass educational videos and my guide to professional sports betting teach you guys how to do it the right way. Best of luck, and we'll see you soon.